If you're a people pleaser and it's just hard for you to say no, and you have a tendency to over accommodate other people, chances are you've gotten rewarded for that. You have gotten praise for that. People see you as like a team player and the go-to person. And there's some of that that might be genuinely and truly fulfilling to you. The problem, though, is when we say yes without really thinking through or acknowledging what we lose if we say yes. We think a lot about what bad thing is going to happen if we say no. We're going to be judged. We're going to be passed over. People are going to be mad at us. Someone's going to be disappointed in me. And those are really powerful experiences that we want to avoid. So in an effort to avoid even sometimes thinking about that, we might just say yes, right? And what I'm going to suggest is that if you've taken a pause, which you should do, is to just pause before you give like a reflexive answer. Think about yes and no as two ends of a spectrum. So a yes doesn't mean yes to everything you just said under the terms that you just said that you want me to do. Yes, I will do everything. No. It can be yes, but not right now. Or it can be yes, but I can't do all of those things. I really think I only have the bandwidth to do that one thing. So similarly, no isn't no to everything forever and ever, right? It's no, not right now. Or it could be, no, not right now, but how about next week? Or it could be, I can't do all of that. I've only got a few hours left in my schedule this week. How about I just take this piece of that? I think when we get stuck in that, oh, it's all yes or all no, it makes it more likely that we're going to misunderstand what the situation actually is. So instead of thinking about it as only one or only the other, think about the yes to no spectrum. And the middle point would be, I don't know, I'm not sure, I need time. I would argue that's where you should always start if you're dealing with a difficult decision. So we're talking about an ask that isn't clear to you whether you should say yes or no, and it's because you're struggling with managing your own preferences and other person's preferences, or you're struggling with managing what they think about you. And so those are the situations where I think thinking about the yes to no spectrum is really helpful, and start at I don't know. So that already forces you into the middle of the spectrum. So you're not swinging further to no, and you're not swinging further to yes. You're essentially starting from scratch, and you're saying, I'm going to allow myself to not know. I'm going to allow myself to think this through and figure it out. And that frees you up. I mean, even talking about it, I already feel like, whew. So you're not pigeonholing yourself on either extreme. And then you can look at, well, what would it look like to move towards the no? What would it look like to move towards the yes? What are some of the things I could say? Yes, I would love to help you with this, but unfortunately, I am leaving for vacation in 2 days, and I really need to do a lot before I leave. So can we talk about this when I come back? Or, no, I wish I could help you, but honestly, I don't think I'm the best person. Why don't you reach out to so-and-so? I think that they might be a better fit. So these are alternatives that allow you to communicate the yes or the no, but there's caveats, there's considerations, there's room. Now, it may be that you start at I don't know, and you give it some time and you think about it, and you find yourself at the hard no, like no. I recently had this situation. A colleague invited me to consider a leadership position in a professional organization, and I had previously made a commitment to myself that I wasn't going to take on anything additional in terms of work for the rest of 2025. So you'd think that when I got this email, I would have instantly filtered it through my previous commitment and said no, but I felt the pull. I felt the pull to say yes because I value my colleague. It's an organization that I had been involved with before, and so that kind of pulled me a little bit. And I think my natural response is like, oh, can I be helpful? I'd like to help. And so thankfully, I applied my 24-hour rule. And 24 hours later, I was much clearer that the answer was actually going to be no, because I had actually made the decision at the start of 2025. So I wrote back to my colleague and I thanked her for thinking of me. And of course, she's lovely. She was totally understanding. And I felt lighter at the end. And that was part of what told me that I had acted in accordance with my bandwidth and my values. And I honored my commitment to myself. And so for me, setting those commitments really helps, because then I can be accountable to it. So that's just an example of how, even if you know that the answer is going to be a hard no, it's still worth taking time, because that might help you clarify what you're going to communicate in response to the request and give you an opportunity to situate your no within your bandwidth and within your values. For more tips on managing people-pleasing and perfectionism, follow me at Dr. Natasha Says on YouTube and on Instagram.